I know about the gun. I know about the fight.
Please don't snitch.
This whole influencer thing doesn't bother you at all.
You really trying to turn your back on where you came from? Is that what you trying to do?
Would it be a bad idea if I went back to Philly?
What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Mark Dark, and I'm back with another video. If you're new, if you love Bel-Air, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Like the video and leave your theories, comments, everything down below. Now today we're going to be talking about Bel-Air Season 1, Episode 5. This is the recap. Now I'm going to try my best to go over all the key points in this episode. If I miss anything, you guys let me know down below. The title of the episode is called PA to LA. And the description of the episode reads, when Will's friend Trey visits, his loyalty to Philly is put to the test. The Banks family supports Hillary by hosting an influencer event. So those are going to be the key elements in this episode. It was a very good episode in my opinion, man. Will and his friend Trey, man, it was a tough one. It was a tough one between the two. We know Trey, man, he just want his boy to come back home. He felt some type of way once he found out that Will was going to end up just staying there. And he was hyped too, man. He was hyped because he was like, man, I'm here. I'm kicking it with my boy. He going to come back. We about to have a good time. But no, it did not go the way that he planned. And he felt like he needed to go. But we're going to talk about that in this video. Now, as I said, I'm going to try my best to focus on all the key points. If I miss anything, you guys let me know down below. So what did we see in episode 5 from the PA to LA? Now, the episode begins with Will picking up Trey. Everything is good. He rolling in the Lexus. You see the palm trees, the good weather. I mean, this is completely different than Philly, right? Completely different. And of course, your boy Will, he got to show him the voice control. You know he had to stunt and just show him exactly what he working with. But like I told you, everything was good at first. But as the episode kept going, things definitely changed between the two. Then we get to Hillary and, of course, Uncle Phil. She is packing. She's getting ready to leave. The family wants to throw her an event at the house because of this new, venture in her life. And Uncle Phil's just telling her, like, look, you probably want to get your moms to help you out. And we know Hillary and her mom ain't having the best time right now. But her pops lets her know that, look, your mom, she loves you and she's just worried about you. And your mom is definitely proud of the things that you have done. So don't forget that. But he just wants Hillary to have that conversation with her mom and maybe they can work things out later on. Now, your boy Trey is finally entering the mansion. And man, look at this scene right here. This scenery right here is great. No wonder you want to stay here because you living like a king up out here, right? Now, as Trey and Will are going upstairs, your boy Carlton, he pops up. And I'm sorry, he was pissing me off this episode. So we got to call him Coked Out Carlton. He is back. And he was on one in this episode. He was acting like he was having a little attitude when he saw Trey. Now, I know I ain't tripping, but I swear, Coked Out Carlton and Trey, man, they look like brothers. They can just be brothers. So to me, that's his little bruh for real. But anyway, the two, they go upstairs. They meet Aunt Viv. She's happy that Trey is here. Everything, once again, seems like it's cool. Trey brings her some cookies from home, and she's very happy about that. So, like I told you guys, it doesn't seem like there's any issues right now, but we already know that's about to change. Now, we meet Dwayne Martin. We know Dwayne Martin is real close friends with Will Smith in real life, but he is Uncle Phil's campaign manager, and it seems like he don't even know about what happened down in Philly, but it's kind of brushed away. Uncle Phil kind of played it off like, yeah, it's nothing you need to know about for real. Now, Dwayne, he plays Steven, and after they was talking about this, Uncle Phil is telling the boys, like, look, I got some D-Smoke tickets for you guys. We're going to go to this event. It's about to get cracking. So I'm like, okay, Uncle Phil, he's a huge hip-hop fan, and we know that D-Smoke, he won the first season of Rhythm and Flow on Netflix. The dude is dope, man. I love his music. So I was very happy once we heard that they was going to be going to his concert. Now, Aunt Viv and Vi, they have a conversation, and Vi, she's like, look, you know what I'm saying? Will, he can pretty much get ready to come home. She's preparing for him to come home, I believe, after the holidays. But Aunt Viv is like, man, maybe he could just stay here. He's doing a good job. He went to an event with the Alphas. They loved him. He can set up internships. I mean, he can do things more, I guess more besides just basketball only. But we know Vi is like, man, I don't know about that. You know what I'm saying? I want my son to come back, and I am the one that's going to make that decision to actually tell him. And I guess the two would end up agreeing to just allow Will to make the final call. Now, you guys let me know, do you feel like it is some like type of secret between the two? Because it definitely feels like something happened in the past between Will's mom or whatever, and Aunt Viv and Uncle Phil. Something definitely happened. I don't know if they're going to keep it 100% like the original show, but it definitely has that family secret vibe going on in my opinion. But you guys let me know down below. Now, this is when things started to change in my opinion. Now, Will was telling Trey, like, look, we're going to dress up for dinner, just, something casual. And Trey was like, look, man, I ain't trying to put nothing on. Like, they got you doing some corny stuff, and he feels like a sellout just by doing this. And Will was just looking at me like, man, like, he really gonna be on this, He already knew what time it was. He knew that his boy Trey was gonna be on one, especially since he didn't even want to put this, blazer on and just go down there with a whole casual type thing. To Will, it wasn't nothing really big, but to Trey, it was more like, no, I'm not doing it. I don't know what they got you doing up in here, man, but they changing you. But we know Will doesn't feel that way. He feels like, yeah, I am doing something different, but this is what they like, so I don't have no problem going out there and doing it. But we know it continued to build up throughout the episode. Now, your girl Hillary, she's having a good old time. They got the influencers up in the house, creating content. They had these two brothers that was in the house as well, and they do pranks. I already knew these dudes was going to be in there fooling. I knew they was going to do a prank. I was just waiting as the episode aired out. I was waiting for the prank to actually happen, which we did end up seeing later on in the episode. But right before all of this, your boy Trey, he was slipping up, y'all. He was already drinking. He was turning up slowly but surely, and he decides to tell Carlton everything. And Carlton, he been waiting to find out the truth about Will and why he was really there. And Trey just spills all the beans, tells him about the gun and all that. He could have died, got shot. And Uncle Phil, yo daddy, end up pulling some magic trick and saving him. So now, coked out Carlton, he definitely feeling some type of way. Because he's like, really? So this is what it is? This is the huge secret? He didn't like that at all. And you already know he's going to confront his pops in this episode. Now, Ashley, she's having a conversation with Monica, and she asked her, does she think the future of sexuality is going to be fluid? And Monica breaks it down. She says in the future, she believes that people will be more comfortable with their behaviors, and you may spend one stage at your life being a heterosexual, a homosexual, or asexual. And she says that some people, they let their sexuality define them, and some they don't. So whichever one you choose is going to be correct. Ashley, man, this girl, she asking these detailed out questions. That lets me know she's really been thinking about this. And we know later on in the episode, she's going to let her sister Hillary know exactly how she is feeling about Lucia. Now, Uncle Phil, he is having a conversation with Kalo, and the topic of discussion is Hillary. He's like, man, so do you feel comfortable with your daughter being an influencer and not something else? And, Phil, he kept it real. He's like, look, man, I'm proud of my daughter. She was a premature child, and I'm proud that she's able to fight against all odds and do what she's done. And that's his baby girl at the end of the day. So he's proud about his daughter no matter what. And that's exactly what you're supposed to do, man. So they was filming it, but he didn't even know that they were filming. I know Hillary did talk about how they had these secret cameras hidden around the house when she was talking to Will earlier on in the episode. But Uncle Phil did not know this. He found out at the end of the episode when his campaign manager, Steven, told him about it, because we know it was all over the internet. Then we get to the prank. I was waiting on this prank to happen. I knew something was about to go down, man. This bear up here twerking. I'm looking like, man, what the hell is going on up in here? Like, really? You know what I'm saying? Hillary's like, man, turn the cameras off. Turn all this stuff off. We cannot do this right now. And then we get to your boy coked out Carlton. He is back. He's pissed off. And he's talking to his pops. He's like, man, so you broke the law to save Will? Like, what's wrong with you? You always taught me not to break the law and do the right thing. Like, what's wrong with you? Uncle Phil's like, look, man, we are all human. People make mistakes. Will is family, and he did what he had to do. But we know Carlton, he don't like that at all. Uncle Phil is telling him, like, look, whatever you do, don't be going around running your mouth. Don't be telling people about all of this. Carlton, he's pissed off. You already know he couldn't wait to go back to Will and let him know he knew the truth about him. And once he went to Will, all he can do is just sit there and just listen to this dude. And he's telling him stay away from Lisa. He don't want her to be around any of his mess and stay away from him at school. So we know Carlton is still pissed off at Will. Now Will has to act all different around this funny looking dude. Man, I'm telling you right now, this Trey dude is his brother. I don't care what nobody say. Look at him, looking just like his brother. And Will, he has to play it off like, look, we got to go. You know what I'm saying? We can't be talking to them like that. Carlton, he's acting all fake. Lisa understands that something is up. She's like, man, Will is acting kind of different. Like something is definitely going down. I'm not buying it at all. Now we get to the concert. This is the back VIP section of the concert. Your boy D Smoke is here. And Will's happy. Trey, he is happy as hell. He's like, man, this is really D Smoke. And he want to know when that next album gonna come out, man. If y'all ain't listen to D Smoke, listen to him, man. This dude is straight up solid. If you haven't watched Rhythm and Flow on Netflix, check it out. I'm telling you right now, you will not be wasting your time. Dude got talent. Then we get to this guy right here, y'all. Michael Ealy, man. And he plays Reed in the show. And apparently, Joan, Aunt Viv's friend, she set all of this up. We know in the last episode, she was having a conversation with her. And she understood that Aunt Viv wanted to take her art a little bit more seriously, right? Now, she gets to this spot, and this dude, he's trying to get at Aunt Viv. We already see it. He's trying to get at her right now, man. He's trying to clap those cheeks. Talking about he always admired her work. Now, he always admired those cheeks. And he's trying to get up in there. Now, she sees this empty space. He's like, look, this is for you. This open area is for you. This is for your work. And trust me, you want to sit around and wait another 15 years for your opportunity to come. So you better take it. I'm telling you right now, this is going to be bad. I'm telling you, I just got that feeling he's going to cause some issues and he going to try to shoot his shot once again. Just wait on it. Then we get to Uncle Phil and, of course, Lisa's pops, Freddie Fred, man. He is back. And they sitting up here telling him, like, look, man, you need to change your approach. You need to change what you said about the police because it's not looking too good for you and there will be some consequences. Uncle Phil stood his ground. He stood his ground. He's like, man, what y'all talking about? Like, y'all talking about what's going to happen? Like, what's going to happen if I still do what I'm doing? You know what I'm saying? So all they can really say is it's going to be some consequences. So we're going to see down the line. Those guys are definitely going to create some problems for Uncle Phil. He is standing his guard, but we already know it ain't going to be easy with this race. Now, Ashley and Hillary, they had the conversation that we've been talking about. Of course, Ashley tells her that she's attracted to girls, that she likes Lucia. She tells her about her. She also says that she's not throwing boys all the way out the picture. She's just trying to figure all of this out. Hillary, she was there for her. She's like, look, man, I got you. You know what I'm saying? You were 12. You're still trying to figure things out. And I understand if you don't want to tell mom and dad. You don't have to do that if you don't want to. And I will always be here no matter what. So they had a little bonding moment. And Ashley feels like she can open up a little bit more with her sister. But I still want to see what her parents are going to say when they find out about this. We know it's probably not going to be as fun as it is talking to Hillary or her friend Monica. It's definitely not going to be like that in my opinion, but we're going to find out, I believe, this season. Then we get to Trey and Will finally tells him, like, look, man, I'm thinking about just staying in LA. And Trey is pissed off because he's like, man, we've been talking all this time and you've been talking about you coming home, getting back on a team and stuff like that. And now all of a sudden you want to say you want to stay in LA. He did not like it at all. He felt like Will was just straight up lying to him, right? Now, I understand that part, you know what I'm saying? I understand, Trey feeling like that because in his head, he's like, man, my boy coming back, especially since he's been talking about it and Will couldn't really say anything. Of course, he's like, look, man, what do we got back at home that's better than this? He loves it out there in LA right now and he don't want to go back to Philly to live that lifestyle, which is very understandable. But at the same time, he probably should have just told Trey earlier on instead of getting him all hyped up like his boy was going to come back to Philly. So, yes, it is understandable. but I do want Will to have what's best for him. And that's exactly what he ended up doing. But that argument, man, that was just the beginning of it. Then we get to Trey's brother, coked out Carlton, and he thought he was about to pull all the shots in this one, right? He thought he had it all in the bag, getting all close to Lisa. Of course, she is thanking him for what he has done, but he thought that was the okay to move in and try to get that kiss. But she's like, nah, like, I already told you how I feel. Like, we need to go ahead and back up. Breath probably was stinking like I don't know what. Boy, he thought he was about to get in there and get him a kiss real quick. Boy, that ain't happening up in here. She ain't your girl no more. Your cousin Will, that's all his. And look at him. He's salty. That man ain't never gonna get with Lisa ever again. Then we get to the whole fight between Will and Trey. And in this whole argument, man, there was a lot of truth being told. We know Trey is like, look, man, I'm the one that got shot. I got shot. You got rich. And Will is like, man, look, you was the reason why I'm even out here because you brought that gun. And Trey tells him, well, dude, we wasn't even supposed to be there in the first place. I told you not to even go. So a lot of truths. At the same time, we know Trey is upset that his boy is leaving. He doesn't want to see it happen at all. He wants Will to really come back home. He doesn't want to hear about Will having a good old time in LA and then he's going to run back and tell Trey how everything is going. No, that's not the case. And as Trey said, he felt like Will, he got rich while Trey got shot. He got the best end of the stick when it came to this whole thing. Now, we know the two end up getting into a fight. Trey pushes Will. Will comes back at him. He had the opportunity to hit him, but he didn't. He did not hit his boy. He just walked away and said, get up out of my room. Man, it's sad to see this. I ain't gonna lie. This scene right here was the scene of the episode. At the end of the day, I can relate to both of these guys, man. I feel both of them. I mean, yeah, you want your boy to be with you, but at the same time, you want the best thing possible for your best friend. It's just hard to see it all play out like this. But it is what it is, man. It is life. You got to deal with the hand that you're dealt. Will goes and he has a conversation with Viv, and she's telling him, like, look, you know what I'm saying? This is your life. You got different opportunities than Trey, and everything is going to be all right. Do not worry about it. Now, Steven, he comes back and he tells Uncle Phil that he has some good news and some bad news. And that the good news is, of course, the video of him praising his daughter, Hillary. And the bad news is, of course, him talking about the police. And we know in the last episode, the whole defund the police thing was very, very big. Lisa's pops, Freddie Fred, told him that there's going to be some consequences. Well, we're going to start seeing those consequences, in my opinion, in these next upcoming episodes. But Uncle Phil, he said that he is ready for it. So we're going to see. I think he's going to stand strong and keep his word. Then we get to the last scene that we see your boy Will and Trey together. And of course, Will is still trying to keep his boy there. Even though they got into it, I mean, it is what it is with that. But he really wants him to stay there. He doesn't want it to end like this. But Trey, in his heart, he can't do that. He got to keep it real, and he feels like he needs to just go. He's not about to come here and live no fairy tale and act like everything is cool. At the end of the day, Trey understands that Will, he has a lot of blessings within his family. And it's just crazy to think about those circumstances that happen, because this could have ended bad for Will, but his uncle Phil saved it. He saved it all, right? So it is what it is. He's got the better end of this whole deal, and we know this usually does not happen at all. But your boy Trey, he had to get up out of there, man. Do you guys want to see Trey's character return? I believe in the original Fresh Prince, Trey was only in like one episode. And I believe in that episode, he was all up over Hillary. And speaking of Hillary, her mom has finally told her that she's proud of her, which she has always been proud of her daughter. But that's what Hillary wanted to hear in the first place. Finally, the two are going to have that bonding time, and hopefully they can continue to build off of that moment that they had in this episode. And then we get to the end of the episode, and Will is having a conversation with his moms. You already know she wants him to come home. Remember, she told Aunt Vive that, of course, Will be the one to make the decision, and she has to respect it. But Will is telling her, like, look, I don't want to come home. Like, I think I should just stay out in LA. I think I'm going to have better opportunities, and I just want to, test it out and see what it's going to bring. And, of course, this was not easy for Will to do. I mean, you got to think, his best friend wants him to come home. His mom's wants him to come home. He got all his friends there, but it takes a big person to step up and do something that he really believes is right. Even though his mom's wants him to come home, his best friend wants him to come home, he feels like this is the best option, so he's going to take it. And that decision was not easy. I already know that that's a tough decision, plain and simple. Regardless of how everything played out, Will had to make a very crucial decision. And from the looks of it, it seems like it's going to be going his way. We're going to see how he continues to adapt and how they're going to play it out within this installment of this show. And also, I know a lot of people was asking, where was Jeffrey at? Hopefully in the next episode, we get to see more of his character, especially after what we saw in the last episode. Everybody wants to know exactly what Jeffrey has been up to and how they're going to continue to develop his character compared to the original Jeffrey in Fresh Prince. But we're going to find out very, very soon, in my opinion. Oh, but you guys let me know, man. What do you think about Bel-Air episode 5 and went down, man? I cannot wait for episode 6. This show, man, is definitely a very good show. I'm glad that I started reviewing it, and I will continue to bring you more of Bel-Air content in the future. We may start breaking down some storylines down the line as well. But thank you guys once again for all the love, all the support, and I will catch y'all very, very soon. But let me get up on out of here, man. It's your boy Mark Dark. I'm out. Peace.